Hello everyone. It's been a while. Haven't felt like uploading any videos for various reasons. One, it takes a lot of time to make these videos and edit them, as some of the comments have said. They're like, "Oh, how in the world do you have time to do this?" Well, I actually don't. But my editing methods allow me to get them out pretty quickly. But that also means I need to be quite creative when editing or videoing, that is, trying to keep everything in sequence. Otherwise it would take me forever to edit my videos. That's why I don't do too many dual cameras and all that stuff. I have ways of doing it now, but I just don't. So this is a update of what's going on, and hopefully we can get some more regular videos out later on. I'm planning a fairly big trip. Anyway, before I was interrupted there by nature. It's a beautiful little butterfly. I had to catch that. But I'm planning a fairly big trip, and that's kind of taken over my video production and making, because I want to make sure that I get everything planned out before I go, which is almost exactly 1 month from now. But between then and now, I'm going to try to catch up on a lot of our maintenance and things like that. This is where the water comes into our property. They call it an acequia. We've always had one. We just reestablished it in a more better way because we use pumps. We don't use flood irrigation. So we just finished putting this in the fall and then got it running. So first update is on our irrigation system. And these are the solar panels that run it. Should be around 3,000 watts of power. 2 different arrays combined together to give us 10 amps. So there's 5 amps on the top, 5 amps on the bottom. All of them add up to 3,000 watts. Just did a major update on that this past weekend, or this past week actually. So let me show you what's going on in the pump house. I do have network down here, so I can automate the workings of this pump. This pipe will get buried at some point just outside the fence, but for now it's going to live up here, just because there's a lot of pipe that needs to go in, because it needs to start at the pump house and go all the way down where you see Maddie the donkey there. Well, let's take a look in the pump house here. So here it is. It's quite a mess. Well, it's actually not quite a mess. It's actually not that bad. You can hear it running away there. There's a big 6-inch pipe coming in. And then this pump, which is 100% solar, takes all that. It runs through a meter, which is there. There's a tap on the side, and that tap goes to this blue hose, which goes into this box. The sun is going down now, so we're getting low pressure here, even though the irrigation is still running, as you saw in our pictures. So it's doing pretty good. We should at peak, and I don't know yet, but we'll find out tomorrow, I should be getting up to about 45 psi. We use sun pumps. I do recommend this system. I would like to recommend them a lot more, but I'm working to make sure that their customer service is good, because we had a problem with our previous sun pump where the controller stopped working. Actually, it was still working, but it was not taking in the power from the solar panels and doing what it was supposed to. It was giving me bad readings so the pump wouldn't run. So they told me to fiddle with some buttons here, but I won't say what those buttons are because you'll ruin your sun pump if you ever do that. But I had this connected later. I wish I had it connected earlier, but that can then control the sun pump, and it can be controlled by this phone using that network. Well, right now I've got a camera looking down at the PSI, so I can keep track of that up in my office, and then I can tune things in. Like one of the things I'll do is I'll hook up a solar panel, just a very small one, about like this big, and it will read the sun intensity, feed it into the Arduino, which I guess I could show you what that looks like in here. And again, I'm not done wiring this, I'm still working on it, but you can see it down there. So it's still in its prototype stage, but it's working just fine and sending data as it should. There's my switch over there. So that's kind of where we're at. And I've got these pulleys so I can raise and lower the pump, and we're using cam locks here. So that's basically what's happening in this room. Our greenhouse is doing great. It's not 100% running yet. We still got a few more beds to build and a few other things, but we are getting produce off of there. I've gotten quite a bit of collard greens. I'm not running the greenhouse because I don't have time to do that, along with everything else that I'm doing. But let's go over and see how Maddie's doing. Here's just a quick look inside the greenhouse, what's going on. As you can see, the organ is somewhat installed in the church now. Here's a picture of it again in case you missed that at the beginning. But I've got to do some more woodworking on it. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with it. And some more wiring underneath. So it's not completely finished. I probably won't finish it until this fall. Like I said, I'm taking a big trip, and it's going to be up to Washington State. It should be a very fun trip. I've been looking forward to it for quite a while, and it's with some friends. Planning to visit a couple of religious communities, of course visit a bunch of churches, a couple of gardens. There's a beautiful Japanese garden up there I'm looking forward to seeing. Looks like we've got a pipe leak over here I need to deal with. Yeah, that's a substantial leak we've got there. I think this is the only leak I have right now. It's the problem with having above ground and using these blue pipes, is that they, as you turn the water on and off, they expand and contract, which rubs against a rock. So I need to deal with that. But it's not as bad as it used to be because we're not running 60 psi, which is what the old pump used to run, which was quite a bit to deal with. But these pipes could handle it. But it also means that they were more acceptable to, well, you know, I can't say it right now. They would break easier with that lower or higher PSI. Let me, I'm going to move this one down here so it can run down here for today or tomorrow. And then I'll switch it back up to the top tomorrow afternoon. And I'm just using my foot to open and close these valves so I don't have to. There we go. There should be enough pressure to make sure this side's going to run. But Maddie tends to tip over all the little irrigation heads, so I have to come back out and straighten them up. Which also will unlatch the pipes here. Looks like that one's good. I'll check hose here and make sure this is good. This was an adapter that I got. It's too bad these things cost so much, but when I did the calculations to see if I could just make it myself using PVC, it was just cheaper to get this, because I would have had to gotten 4 or 5 different parts and it would have been really, really big. So that part, which was only $30, was much cheaper than the $40 it would have been if I were to make that myself. So it's just taking a 4-inch pipe down to a 3. I'm surprised how my little Chewy, that is the lamb that, or the ram, that's weather now, is like the only one that ever gets out to eat. Even though it's not really that hot, but they just kind of hang out right there in the tent. Let me see if he's talkative today. Go over and say hello to Chewy. Oh, here we go. And of course, we're not running at full power, so these will probably just spin around in circles. We'll see if they do a... Oh, no. Looks like we got it. There we go. Here comes Maddie. Hey, Maddie. A little Chewy there. Oh. Yep, that's typical. I don't know if you can see that little bit of water spraying up over there. That's the problem with the hand-laid pipes, is they pop off too easily. But I'm not gonna worry about it. Hey, do you have to run up and get me like that? How you doing? Yeah. Hey, little Maddie. There you go. Maddie coming over and saying hello and getting her hair all over me. You're just a big dog, you know that, right? You're just a big dog. Hey. You see that, right? Now, I'm not talking to you. I'm going to say hello to Chewy. Is that okay? Chewy! Don't eat my hat. Maddie. Maddie, don't eat my hat. Come on now. Oh. See, Chewy knows to stay away from you. And that's not good. You need to... No, don't eat my hat. Yeah? Come on now. Chewy, Chewy. Hey, Chewy. All right. Gloria. Hey. Why are you running off? Yep, typical. They don't want to be too talkative today, I guess. Okay. That's enough. I need to get ready for Vespers. Today's Sunday, but you still got to get out and interact with the sheep and the donkey. I don't want to just put them in a field and then forget about them. And then to check on little things to make sure nothing's happened, like that pipe. I need to get those types of things fixed before I go on my trip. So a few other small things. Father Zachary professed vows. So he is now a solemnly professed monk here at the monastery. It was a wonderful time. Had a lot of guests here. I got to cook on Sunday, but we catered out the main meal for his profession because, again, there's just not enough time. Being that I'm doing the music and a few other things, it's just too much to try to cram all that in. So we just we did Mexican, and then I cooked store-bought lamb, corn that was still in the shuck, and I just roasted that. A potato that was cooked in the oil from the lamb fat. So you cut off as much fat as you can. You then cook that in a skillet, and all that oil will come from the lamb. And then you put the potatoes in that, and you boil your potatoes in that fat. And it adds flavor to the potatoes, and then you go ahead and add your cheeses and things to your potatoes. In this case, I just used Alfredo sauce and then added a lot more to that to make it taste better. And I can't remember what the other thing was. Obviously a salad. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm heading off to Vespers. So God bless, and maybe I'll tell you why I decided not to stop making videos. It was an interesting little story, but for now I can wait. I'll still be making videos, but they'll come out kind of slow right at the moment. God bless.